Well, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari in San Marino, Italy, for the CCRL Elite Wednesday tier Pirelli Gran Premio del Made in Italy del Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. If you're the type of person to press 1 for English, here's what I've got for you. Welcome to Imola. We've got 2 races on tap for you tonight. The sprint race, which you're about to see just now, and then the feature race coming up in just a little bit. Here is the starting grid for this sprint race. It will be Rapid Reimer on pole, only 4/100ths of a second quicker than DJ E Flat in second. King Pro Player in third on the medium tires as well, no less. It'll be fourth for DWCJ. Third row lockout for the McLarens. John the Prince and Charlie Golf, 5th and 6th. Curveball 7th. Angry Walrus 8th. Johnny Damon 9th. R. Manson 10th. Pontiac Bandit 11th, 12th is Owa, 13th Hemphead, 14th Merc, 15th Anyote, 16th is Bongit. What I will say is this, 11 laps of the sprint race here to come. A lot of drivers did actually at one point or another during that sprint qualifying session, of course it's not relevant to the time being, in that session at least, but a lot of drivers did use the medium tires during that session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of which, of the 16-car grid, did use those tires at the time. And by the way, not only to mention that, some of these guys going on 3-4 lap runs on these mediums and setting them actually at the back end of that run. And even then, some of these guys on the soft 4-lap-old, 3-lap-old tires putting in these good times. So what we're learning is that these drivers are very comfortable with the tire choices that Pirelli have given us tonight, Virtual Pirelli. And what that tells me is this. The degradation between the two compounds is not all that much. Of course, the softs are still going to be faster and last a little bit shorter. The mediums are going to be the preferred race tire. But does that mean we see a little bit of discrepancy in tire strategy coming up later tonight in the full race? Could be, potentially. I hope so. It gets a little bit boring having these sometimes straightforward one-stop medium to hard tire strategies. But while we have a really quick second, we'll have a look at the driver standings. Of course, after Monaco, it will be that of Reimer on top by 77 points over his team and a King Pro Player. DWCJ 3rd, Charlie Golf 4th, Merc 5th, Curveball, R. Manson, John the Prince, Pontiac Bandit, and Owa round up the top 10 in points after Monaco. As far as the constructors are concerned, the Mercedes are running away with this one, as we've pretty much figured out by now, as we're almost getting towards halfway through the season. Alpines in second, McLaren's in third, the V-Carbs fourth, Red Bulls fifth, Sauber sixth, Aston Martin seventh, Ferrari eighth, Willys ninth, and the Haas's in 10th. And we are, once again, I'll say this again, we are getting in towards the business end of the season. This is round number 8. Next time out, Halloween Eve, the day before, I guess. We head to Suzuka for round number 9, should be a fun one. Miami, round 10. Round 11, we head to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, for what I consider my home Grand Prix at least. Round 12, Singapore. Round 13th, China. Round 14th is Baku. And then rounding up the season, 100% Grand Prix. Round 15 at the Circuit Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Should be a fantastic conclusion to the season. And, well, while the championship, let's be clear about one thing here. While the championship seems to have been, running away with by both Reimer and King Pro Player and the Mercedes team in general, we still have seen and will continue to see some fine racing here. So 11 laps of the sprint race to come. I'm assuming the majority of the grid. I would assume maybe still medium tire. Maybe the softs. No, I take that back. I think we're going to see the soft tires. Probably going to last the whole 11 laps. Not going to see any pit stops other than wing damage would be my guess. Maybe the mediums. I'm just kind of curious to see if drivers are willing to part with a set of the medium tires, knowing that they still have the race coming up here, but we'll find out in a second. 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights. Part 1 of Imola tonight in the CCRL Wednesday Elite tier, and we're off. And it looks as if Reimer, being that outside line on the grid, is going to have a much better start than DWCJ and DJE Flat. DWCJ's actually gotten away really well, and as they make their way in towards the Tamburello chicane, Reimer does lead by a considerable margin over the grid behind him. DJE Flat manages to get around DWCJ. King Pro Player 4th, 5th, and 6th, still the pair of the McLarens. It looks like Angry Walrus has managed to get around. Curveball here on the way heading in towards now the Villeneuve chicane. It looks as if Pontiac Bandit wants to send it in on our Manson. He's going to try the right side heading into Toza. Will he be able to get it? Still trying to hang around the outside. The Aston Martin down low, and it looks as if Pontiac Bandit is going to get away with that one. Brilliant move then by the V-Carb as we have a yellow flag at the back. It is Bongit who's gone around exiting Toza. It's not exactly the most difficult of corners, but oversteer will catch you out by surprise, and it looks as if I was wrong. It will actually be the medium tires on display for the sprint race. 11 laps here. Reimer still atop the grid, DJE flat second, DWCJ third, and the top two have stayed the same. DW up one, Charlie Golf, Angry Walrus, Pontiac Bandit, and actually Hemphead are tied +2 for the both of them. Johnny Damon actually down 5 off the start there. And I'm actually curious if he was able to rejoin his car. He had a little bit of trouble connecting and reconnecting, it kind of seemed. But as we make our way down the pit straight now, heading back into the Tamburello chicane, we've got our Manson trying to clear the left side of Pontiac Bandit, which he has. Owa next up, trying to fend off Hemphead, and does just that. On the way to Tamburello, really, you may see some moves be made there. It's going to be difficult to have a go into that braking zone with how tight that corner is. Really, Toza here might be another route. You can kind of get 2 lines of racing in and around the outside. Piratella, if you're doing something there, you're really ballsy or really stupid, either one. Aqua Minerale, more the same. Not really going to find anything there. That's more of a zone to kind of catch drivers out by surprise and maybe find a move in and amongst. We do have Owa. Oh, look at this. Nice little trio of cars here. Owa around the outside of Pontiac Bandit. Behind Merc and Hemphead battling it out as well. Well, I'm allowed to be wrong. Pontiac Bandit's gotten around Owa there. He now has to both fend off Merc and Hemphead. Contact there with the Alpine. In towards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into Cresini. And it looks as if, for the time being, it will be that of, well, it's actually going to be Pontiac Bandit who gets ahead. Oh, but look at this. Owa's going to send it down to the inside through Rivazza. Pushes the V-Carb into the gravel. Potentially was... Oh, and then to the outside, into the barrier on the inside goes Owa. Well, the V-Carb of Pontiac Bandit could have looked at that and said karma, and, well, I wouldn't have blamed them, tell you the truth, although there was some argy-bargy between the two going through Aqua Minerale, but that time, as we were along with that action, we do have a new leader. DJE Flat has gotten around Rapid Reimer, and now up into the top spot, and Johnny Damon is retired from the session off at Tamburello. Very similar to where he had gone off in the sprint quali. They're also DNF'd in that session as well due to an incident. And, well, it's a very unfortunately short day here in the sprint for the Sauber of Johnny Damon, the lone Sauber on the grid. Through Aqua Minerale now and up the hill. King Pro Player still leads Charlie Golf about 0.2 of a second. But let's see if the McLaren is going to be able to do anything into Gresini. I don't believe he's going to do that this time. It's a very difficult spot to try to make a move, but if you're feeling lucky, you can make your way into Rivazza now and hope that the car on the inside is able to brake in time and not shove you into the gravel, as we kind of saw there between Owa and Pontiac Bandit. Now, once again, we'll point it out, those two did make contact going through Aqua Minerale. They had gone again. Pontiac Bandit had, in my eyes, kind of forced Owa off the track. It's probably debatable there. And then through Rivazza, it had gone back. Owa getting Pontiac off the track. Whether it be deliberate or not, I'm not too sure, but that's what it certainly appeared to be. I don't like blaming other people. I don't like suspecting foul play. Just, you know, that's what it seemed to my eyes. But either way, that seems to have kind of sorted itself now. Pontiac Bandit this time, however, into the gravel. But goodness me, it has been a very calamity-filled race already for Pontiac Bandit. One moment I'm done talking about him taking a trip through a gravel and a spat with another car. It seems to have happened yet again there, that time with the Alpine of Merc. I'll apologize in advance if I'm getting any of this wrong. I'm not seeing this in real time. I'm trying my best. It is difficult, but, you know. Let me tell you something. I've done this long enough to know when there's foul play and when there isn't. None of what I've seen today appears to be done in any sort of dumbassery form. That's pretty much the best way to describe it, really. About to begin the 5th lap of this sprint race. DJE Flat, Rapid Reimer in behind. On their way down the pit straight. Reimer may be closing in. He's actually saved up a lot of his battery here. Will he have a look into Tamburello, who is having a look as Angry Walrus to the inside of John the Prince? He's actually going to be the first car on the grid today to split the two McLarens. They started 5th and 6th, now 5th and 7th, as John the Prince gets dispatched then by Angry Walrus. Pontiac Bandit seems to have gotten around Merc, at least for the time being. King Pro Player next up, trying to take down DWCJ for that 3rd spot. I will say DJE Flat has done a fantastic job holding Reimer at bay here. Through Piratella they go. And down the hill now, heading in towards Aqua Minerale. somewhere along the outside. You can see George Russell sitting along the fence, I bet. DWCJ's actually picked up 3 seconds from multiple warnings. I was wondering when we were going to get, well, not necessarily our first 3 second of the penalty of the day, but our most important, no offense, Hemphead, but you know what I mean. So a 3 second penalty here. That was going in through Aqua Minerale, I believe. It's easy to go wide through that section, maybe. Did he take too much on the inside? But he could have even picked it up through Piratella. That's possible as well. Next up here, Merc, 2.5 tenths behind Pontiac Bandit. I would kind of doubt he's going to send it into Rivazza now. We do have a battle for the lead. Reimer down to the inside of DJE Flat and is going to get that one with the aid of DRS. You can see he was kind of saving it up there, as Angry Walrus is going to get the second McLaren now. Up to 5th for the Aston Martin, as he's gotten around Charlie Golf and John the Prince in consecutive laps. As we now have Merc and Pontiac Bandit. Oh, look at this 3-car battle here for that 10th position. And Pontiac Bandit has actually come away the worst out of that. He's lost 2 positions, and it almost appears as if that... it doesn't appear to have any wing damage. The car certainly looks to be driving like it, as we have a yellow flag exiting Toza. I believe someone's gone off there. Is it the Aston Martin of R. Manson? Something's not gone well, but we have multiple drivers now picking up 3-second time penalties. Walrus and Owa too. As we've got a Ferrari, it's Bonget who's gone around. That is exiting Tamburello. So Reimer leads now by about a second, exiting Grazzini and down the hill heading in towards Rivazza. As, it looks as if Agnote's gone for a slight spin now. Oh, and he's missing the majority of his front wing as well. Not ideal for Agnote. Let's see now if the McLarens decide to tag team Angry Walrus ahead. Angry Walrus and King Pro Player for that matter. DWCJ on the outside looking in. There goes one King Pro to the inside. He's going to take that outside line away from Angry Walrus. Oh, late on the brakes is Charlie Golf into the back end of Angry Walrus. Just a little bit late under braking there, and I'm a little thankful, actually, that it's not broken the front wing of Charlie Golf and not actually turned Walrus around either. As Walrus now looking to the inside of DWCJ. A little bit of a lockup on the back end on the way into Toza. And wow, he's made it happen. Despite having 3-second penalties, he is battling very well here. And now look at this, side by side, exiting Piratella, DJE Flat to the inside, and has gotten Reimer in probably one of the most unconventional places to make an overtake on this circuit. Wow, and you have to say, despite how old school this circuit is, how difficult, narrow, not very many overtaking moves, they are making the best of it here. That's why they're called the Elites here. Oh, look at this! DJE Flat heavy on the brakes, bit sideways. Reimer's had a bit of a Code Brown, let's be real. DJE Flat even more so. Wow, and I tell you what, scary moments for both drivers there. Charlie Golf to the inside of DWCJ. And it looks as if the McLaren's going to get that spot even without the aid of penalty. Ooh, he's going to take a lot of the curb there on the inside. And DWCJ is going to get him right back. And oh, look at this. The Mercedes have taken around here. King Pro Player's gotten around Reimer. Well, this is very interesting now because that mistake by DJE Flat has interrupted the rhythm of Reimer. And King Pro Player has taken advantage of that after the Code Brown moment from DJ Flat and Reimer. Has that interrupted? Because it's very important, the flow that a driver experiences during a race. If you have something that gets in the way of that and takes away from the consistency and the laps that you're turning in, it does get to be very difficult to keep it together after. So we'll have to wait and see if more mistakes are on the way from potentially DJ or Reimer here. It's possible. About to begin lap 9 of 11 here as they make their way. 3 laps remain in this sprint race, which has seen everything except the return of Jesus Christ himself as the McLaren... Whoop, Charlie Golf. Oh my God. Okay, well, thank God Ghostwing was on because Charlie Golf has spun it coming out of Rivazza in the path of oncoming traffic. And now look at this. King Pro Player round the outside looking for DJE Flat. Oh, similar to Max V. Lewis in 2021, how the Mercedes has gone over the inside of the curb like that. DJ's trying it now. King Pro Player has shut the door on the bottom. Like an unwanted Jehovah's Witness guest, DJE Flat. absolutely slams the door shut there, exiting Tamburello. Wow, and I'm actually so in awe of the quality of racing that we're seeing here. It's fantastic. A bit of an incident now going through Toza. One of these cars has gone a little bit slow, I'm afraid, but I'm not sure which. Agnote to another 3-second penalty. Walrus now up to 6 as well. And that's a sign of things to come in the Grand Prix later tonight. Could be seeing a lot of positions decided by penalty, which is not my favorite thing to see, but it does make for some interesting stories, that's for sure. 2 laps to go now in the sprint race. Down the pit straight they go. Rapid Reimer in pursuit of DJ E-Flat. And look at this. DJ is actually going to look to get around King Pro Player. Reimer going forward as well. And he'll actually dispatch of his teammate now. The more things change, the more they stay the same. DJ E-Flat and Rapid Reimer back to the top 2. R. Manson getting around Curveball then. But once again, the story at hand. A Williams versus 2 Mercedes behind. And a Aston Martin penalized, trying to peek his nose into the business of the 3 ahead of him. Question's going to be for me here is this. This Curveball picks up a 3-second penalty. Let's pretend that, let's, in actuality, the next real opportunity for overtaking for Reimer, he's got 2 of them immediately here. Rivazza and then going down the pit straight, DRS activated into Tamburello. If he doesn't have it by then, you'd have to think that it's all up to DJ E-Flat to drive a clean final lap of the race here. Because if not, I mean, realistically, here goes one section now. Reimer doesn't appear to be in position to challenge here. DRS is obviously going to be activated for the Mercedes here, unless he makes a hell of a mistake coming out of Rivazza 2. And down the pit straight they go. DRS will be activated. Reimer's potentially last chance to get back ahead and have a win at this sprint race here to the inside. DJ E-Flat knows when he's beaten there, I'm afraid. Unfortunate to say. But Reimer is dispatched to the Williams rather easily then, and in towards Tamburello. Reimer is the new leader. Can he now hold on for the remainder of the lap? As we do have cars battling on behind, but look at this. DJ E-Flat right up against it. Oh, he's going to go wide at the exit of Villeneuve, and DJ E-Flat a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And unfortunately, we saw that one happen in real time. He was caught out going off the outside of the Villeneuve chicane there. Right here as we see Manson go through. He's gone a little bit wide on the way out. All 4 tires over the white line. And that is a penalty every day of the week that ends with Y. Big slide from Pontiac Bandit. Collects Owa. And somehow, Pontiac Bandit's the one that's actually ended up okay out of that scenario. Don't ask me how. But exiting Grazzini they go. Again, a lot of positions going to be determined by penalties here, but what we do know is this. Reimer coming down the hill in towards Rivazza. DJ E-Flat is really going to be looking for this one either way. Rivazza 1 still belongs to Reimer. Number 2 up now, the final corner. Coming out of said final corner, Reimer really having to battle for this one, but he's going to win the sprint race. Oh, and look at this. Oh! What? Was that? That wasn't on purpose, surely. DJ E-Flat spinning across the line. Yeah, it must have been. I think he still crossed the line in second, but with the penalties applied, he'll fall down to 4th. King Pro Player up to 2nd, John the Prince 3rd, DJ down to 4th, DWCJ up to 5th. The pair of the Aston Martin 6th and 7th. Charlie Golf 8th, Curveball 9th. Pontiac Bandit will cross the line 10th. 11th belongs to Merck, 12th Owa, 13th Hemphead, 14th appears to be Bongit. And then Agnote will round out the grid here, and he's picked up another 3-second penalty. Though it looks as if he'll have a fun battle here with Bongit at the end of the lap. Let's see. Nah, he's going to back off. Or does he? Make it interesting at least towards the end. Very nice. Started with 16, finished with 15. Reimer, and well, in general, the Mercedes team, once again the winners here of the sprint race. But another feature race on the way after this. And now the second act of this thrilling drama that is a CCRL Wednesday Grand Prix Elite Tier race goes like this. Our starting grid for the full Grand Prix will be Reimer on pole, who set his time of a 1:14.7 on the medium tires. Be DJ E-Flat in second, about 0.3 of a second behind, didn't get a chance to improve on that final attempt. Half a tenth back is John the Prince third, Walrus fourth, Curveball fifth, actually only 1,000th of a second ahead of Johnny Damon in sixth. In seventh, it will be Charlie Golf, only 4 1,000ths clear of DWCJ in eighth. Ninth is R. Manson, 10th is Owa, 11th Merc, 12th Hemphead, 13th Pontiac Bandit, 14th Bong, 15th Onyote, and then rounding out the grid without a time is actually that of King Pro Player, which I find interesting. But once again, we do see a couple of drivers setting those times on medium tires, Reimer being one of them. His best lap actually was on the mediums instead of the softs, in which he took that final way around. And then as well as Pontiac Bandit also put a lap down on 2-lap-old mediums. So what does that tell me? That tells me, as someone who thinks, I once raced in games like this, I think strategical-wise. I hope not all of the time I'm right, but sometimes I at least get in the right ballpark. What that tells me is this. These drivers are going to be okay as long as they are on the soft and medium tires, because to this point in the Grand Prix, in the Grand Prix weekend, they have experience on both sets. And not only that, but they have run now 2 qualifying sessions and an 11-lap race, sprint race prior to this. Use whatever unit of measurement you'd like. That equates to 1 shitload of laps around this track, if you ask me. Anyways, what that leaves us with is this. We're going to have an all-out duel here going in through this Grand Prix. DJ E-Flat, I would say, has the best opportunity to knock off Reimer from doing the double here tonight, but it's going to take a lot of work, and there's always, of course, the threat of rain. None confirmed, but does that mean it's going to happen? No. Does that mean it's not going to happen? Also no. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for this one. It's going to be fantastic here. Once again, what we're going to see is Reimer's going to be having that outside line on the grid, which, if you saw in the sprint race, and on this track as well, how the start-finish line is kind of set up here, or at least how the grid is, it's a little bit crooked. It's not exactly a pit straight this, but it is a pit. It's a front stretch, and as we as I get a ping here from DWCJ, no rain is forecasted. Thank you for that, appreciate that. So we are going to get a full-out race here on pace, on DRS, on mistakes, not mistakes here. It's going to be fantastic. Reimer's going to have that outside, which is definitely an advantage, I would say, on this track. Usually it's one of those things, having the outside into a corner, not always that helpful. Usually is kind of the way to break up, being on pole versus being in second. Some tracks it's a little bit better, some tracks it's not. This is one of the tracks, having that outside line is going to be very, very important. Reimer, I think, is going to get away very well here, which is not necessarily a strong point in Reimer's games. He's a fantastic driver, don't get me wrong. His starts are not always something that, raises eyebrows and draws attention. Is really run-of-the-mill, if you ask me on that front. But here, and as we saw in the sprint race, got away fantastic. And I think is going to do more of the same here with the advantage that he will have. That also leads me to wonder this, the tire strategies that we will see, now that the drivers have used at least multiple sets of softs, multiple sets of mediums as well, at least one set of mediums, I would say, because everybody in the sprint race used the medium tires. So, will we only just see, yet again, the medium to hard running, or do we see a safety car that makes it, soft, medium, hard? No, well, that wouldn't work, would it? Soft, medium to hard, even the hard, and then maybe to the softs at the end. It's all possible. It could happen. I think this is one of the few tracks that we do see some changes in strategy, but here we go. Lights turning on for the second time today. 4 and eventually 5. Reimer on the outside, and they are away. And once again, he has not necessarily cooked the DJ E-Flat off the line, but look at this. John the Prince has gotten away really, really well here. Splits the middle between himself and DJ E-Flat, and now is looking to go around the outside through Tamburello. We've got spinning cars at the back for all I can see. One of them was being Charlie Golf. He did not get a good launch, and he is all the way back in ninth, but we've got cars spinning about in the back, 3 of them, maybe 4 around. Johnny Damon's gone off yet again through Tamburello. 3rd or 4th time tonight he's had calamity through there. Pontiac Bandit, Hemphead, Johnny Damon, all to name the cars involved in that first little skirmish there into Tamburello. But as Reimer leads the grid, now going through Piratella, Aqua Minerale, after that 32 more laps of this race here to come tonight. As, going down the order now is Onyote, and he is retired, exiting Piratella. Only the virtual safety car, but that car has hit that wall a ton on the outside. Only the virtual 14 to 20, medium to hard, If that's the way you've chosen, unfortunately, I was wrong. Mediums and hards only on display for the time being. Walrus, Golf, and King Pro Player are the only drivers on the grid who have gone hard this evening. But what I will say is this King Pro Player stayed out of trouble in the opening goings here, up 5, Agnote up 6, Merc up 4. So good starts for them. Reimer stays in first. John the Prince has taken second. DJE Flat third. Walrus has stayed fourth. DWCJ, Manson, and Merc all up 3, 3, and 4. Golf down 1, which is surprising because the poor getaway that he did have. Remember, he had actually gone quite wide off the grid there. I don't know if you caught on to that or not. I definitely saw it out of the back of my eye. I was more focused on the top of the grid, but he had gone quite wide, actually, out of his grid box. And I think with the cars more or less just spinning around him, he stayed out of trouble at the end of it and has actually got himself back up to 8th. Still net 1 in the wrong direction, but with what's going on around him, I think that's probably not bad. So, Manson now a drive-through penalty for speeding into the safety car. That's a bummer. Back to green flag racing here. Reimer does have a half a second advantage over John the Prince. DJE Flat in third. Walrus fourth. DWCJ, your top 5 as they make their way out of Piratella, down the hill through, and up now through Aqua Minerale. Merc behind is actually may have a look at our Manson here. They're going to get DRS going down the pit straight this time by once they exit Rivazza and heading back down in towards the Tamburello chicane at the end of the pit straight. What I will say is this. Now that DJE Flat is no longer the driver immediately challenging Reimer, he's almost got, and there it is, a second advantage over John the Prince. John will still get DRS here because he was within a second at the time of the detection point, which is just barely in between the middle of Grazzini and entering Rivazza there. It's actually well far away and behind. R. Manson will serve his drive-through penalty now. Good for him. Charlie Golf and Merc side by side, as well as Agnote and Curveball here. And it looks as if Curveball has gotten around the Red Bull in question, as well as King Pro Player. Now getting around Agnote. Oh, Agnote has gone around. Yes, he has. This is going through Tamburello now. Doesn't appear that he's hit anything, but that car's gone for a brief spin. And then a second one. And there's his damage. Almost comedic timing that. Reimer does still lead the grid here. I think closest battle on track is that of Merc, 0.2 of a second back to Charlie Golf. Did go a little bit wide that time there, exiting Piratella. We'll see if he can keep it a little bit more comfortable this time. Through Aqua Minerale. Once again, we're going to go ahead and assume that a lot of time penalties are going to decide positions tonight. It's a very difficult track to keep within the white lines as it is. We saw that a lot during the sprint race, and now 32 laps of this circuit. Yeah, we're going to be seeing quite a bit of conundrums with penalties here. See if positions could be changed now. Curveball to the back end of Charlie Golf. Sorry, that's Merc to the back end of Charlie Golf. Curveball to the back end of Merc. 6, 7, and 8 there, now going down the pit straight. We'll check back with that in a second. What we do have is Reimer still clear of John the Prince, only just. Not close enough this time to have him move into Tamburello, nor is John the Prince, DJE Flat, Walrus, or... Well, I'll tell you who did have a move that time was Merc and Curveball, both getting around Charlie Golf, and now King Pro Player wants into the mix as well. To the inside, gonna poke his head in there just a little bit, not really at that point yet. Still up 7 positions is King Pro Player. Now Charlie Golf has made another mistake there. I think maybe could the door be open now. I think King Pro Player kind of doing this correctly. He's being a little bit more calm, you could see. He is up a lot of positions, but he's not diving for these spots. He's taking them as they come to him. And I think that's a really good strategy to have right now. You're on the hard tires. You don't need to push. You just need to exist, keep swimming, and don't let the chaos catch up to you. And I think that's what King Pro Player's done here off the start. 3.5, 4.5 tenths of seconds here for DJE Flat back to John the Prince. Now here's the detection point. John the Prince outside of DRS range there. So DJE Flat will have the opportunity to get back up to Reimer once he gets around the McLaren here. DRS will be activated for the Williams as expected. The McLaren, as we pretty much predicted, will not have it, although is still gaining time. Actually shaved off about 0.2 of a second there down the straight. DJE Flat will still get around him. As now we do have DWCJ getting down to the inside of Angry Walrus through Tamburello. A bit of contact there. Oh, they're going to switch back. And, Curveball and Merc battling it out behind as well. That one was actually very close there between Walrus and DW that time. one of those things, you see a car slide back across the circuit like that, it does kind of start to ring the alarm bells when you see a car come back. Of course, Walrus has done nothing wrong there, but if you're following him behind and, you know, you kind of get around him and then you expect him to switch back like that, it does get risky. And risky is this, side by side, through Piratella. Charlie Golf's going to get ahead of King Pro Player there. I think King Pro probably doing the right thing and just kind of allowing him to have some space there. You don't need to be going gutsy this early. King Pro Player saying, Charlie, look, have that all you want. It's not going to be me. Not now. Especially on the hard tires as well. If he can conserve and take those hard tires as deep as he possibly can, that would be a fantastic turn of events for King Pro Player, because I think realistically what he wants to do now, outwit, outlast, potentially. Outwit, outplay, and outlast. That's the three, isn't it? I think that's the goal here for King Pro Player. As we have a yellow flag, the Red Bull of Agnote doing a bit of off-roading through Tamburello. As Hemphead is left and then rejoined the session. But either way, top 4-5 joining up to the Red Bull back marker coming up here. As our Manson has now left the session, we do have Merck and Curveball. Curveball's actually picked up a 3-second penalty somewhere along the way. Doesn't appear, at least visibly, that he's got gravel on the tires. I think maybe he's just gone over the white line a little bit too much. But a good battle here going on in the midfield. Upper half of the midfield, I'd say. As a yellow flag, just the Red Bull getting out of the way ahead. With Piratella they go, and once again, we'll check back with these fellows in a minute. We do have still a battle for the top 4, as now this is kind of allowing both John the Prince and Angry Walrus back into the mix here. We saw how far ahead Reimer had gotten over John the Prince. Now that DJ Flat has actually taken the McLaren, he's been able to at least keep Reimer honest here, potentially, and I'm starting to think Walrus is going to be next up to take it around John the Prince, potentially. We'll see. Exiting Rivazza they go. Pit straight now. Reimer's got 7.5 tenths of a second the advantage. Haven't used a lot of his battery either, which is interesting to see. He's not too concerned with playing it defensive right now. Agnote has retired, that being in the pit lane. The Williams will not make a move into Tamburello that time. John the Prince and Angry Walrus were not in position to make moves either. Charlie Golf gets around Merck on the way in, as well as King Pro Player will this time get around Curveball up to 8th. Up to 8th for King Pro Player. Matter of fact, I say that up 8 positions as well. And now, well, Merck wanted to have a look at Charlie Golf. There didn't quite get a too confident a look, backed out. King Pro Player next up in line to have a sniff at the back end of the Alpine. He's not quite there yet. Through Aqua Minerale they go, and up the hill. See, I think this is the type of track where Reimer will really excel, you know. High downforce. Still high speed, though, down the pit straight. Let's not ignore the fact that they're still pulling some good speed. Oh, as Hemphead is crashed, exiting Tamburello, and the safety car on track. He has gone somewhere way out, and yes, he has. My goodness, that is one hell of a place to crash. Wow, and that really changes things here, because we have a safety car now. Reimer makes a very last-minute decision. Oh, and a tenner for speeding into the pit lane for the race leader. Wow. And that won't even be applied to this pit stop. He'll have to wait and pit again or try to get around that penalty. Holy mackerel, have we got ourselves a good one now. Walrus stays out on track. Charlie Golf as well as King Pro Player, the three of which who started on the hard tires. The rest have come in now. Reimer will be demoted to 4th. DJ E Flat to 5th. And the rest of them, again, as we're saying, onto the hard tires. But what a turn of events this is. I mean, Reimer, we kind of saw it on the way in. It's a difficult position to be in as a race leader. Let's remember that. Because you're a race leader, safety car or not safety car, you are making the stop decisions for the rest of the grid. You have a driver within your immediate surroundings like that, like DJ E Flat. You are pretty much, your movements are deciding for him what to do. So, Reimer, as you could tell, slightly undecided there. Really made a last-second decision, very well, at least noticeably later than the others. Last-second decision to come in. He's not been on the brakes quick enough. It didn't look as if there was any contact behind from DJ Flat. I doubt there was. There'd be noticeable, and I didn't see any. I think just a genuine tenor from Rapid Reimer. I think the only thing to say here is that another safety car is definitely possible, and even then more so. You know, I think we are going to see more drivers pick up time penalties. That could help him. But goodness me, that is not what I expected there. We started with 16. Both Red Bulls are gone, as well as the Ferrari of Hemphead, who have caused this safety car. We are now down to 13 cars. Angry Walrus, your leader. What can I say? This has been a fantastic race weekend this so far. Positions gained and lost. King Pro player, albeit hasn't stopped yet, but up 13 positions. 5 from Charlie Golf, 3 from Walrus, 4 for Bonget, 3 for Merc. I mean, it's not really worth looking at now, I'll be fair with you, because there is penalties. Well, not penalties, but pit stops. But still. So again, it was really realistically about halfway through the Grand Prix that the game said to pit. But how long can these hard tires go? Because we're about to begin the 10th lap. We're about a third of the way through this Grand Prix. You know, I think it was what? It was like lap 17 or something when the game said, hey, now's a good time to pit. You know, when we got that graphic earlier on when it was predicted pit stop strategy, it was a 17, mediums to hard. So I think realistically, I think it wouldn't be a surprise to see those on the hard tires now after having stopped. So that means everybody outside the top 3. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if they went all the way on these tires. I think the top 3 absolutely going to need the pit. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's a rule. You got to pit. But in fairness to them, if they're able to get away well here, could they book it towards the end, pit for the softs, and then be extra competitive within that last 10 laps? You'd have to think that is a viable strategy. Will that be the course of action that these drivers take? I doubt that. It's one of those things that when you're in the car and you're driving and you're in this scenario, I mean, you're under safety car now, so you got a little bit of time to think. But the safety car is going to make a very late decision to come in this lap. I don't think Walrus really expected that, neither did I. But Walrus will get us back underway. At some point. Eventually. Whoa, look at this. He's really going for it. Finally steps on the loud pedal. My goodness, he's actually... Well, it's not gone completely to plan, but it's absolutely confused the drivers behind him. Let's see if Charlie Golf's going to be able to have a look into Tamburello. He's not quite going to be close enough. King Pro player, can he have a look at Charlie Golf? No. Looking behind John the Prince. Well, I tell you what, they're all really going to go single file on through the Tamburello chicane, but I will say this. Things are tame now. Oh, I was about to say they won't be for long as Walrus has nearly lost it on his own. Round the outside looking Charlie Golf through Toza, and there they go. Charlie Golf, potentially new leader if he can hold on. Of course, he's got the penalty to get around, but he's not thinking about that. Round the outside, can't keep it within track limits, and somehow, Angry Walrus using his get-out-of-jail-free card when you think of it like that, because Charlie Golf nearly had him all on his own error. But somehow, some way, Walrus has actually been able to hold on to the lead. All started exiting the Villeneuve chicane. You had the feeling that it was all going to kick off, and then it almost did. But instead, we can catch our breath for about right now. Let's see, any positions will be changed into Tamburello this time. They will not have DRS. We'll have to wait until next time by. But Charlie Golf really going for it here. Is he going to be able to get there before the braking zone? He's going to have a look, but he's not quite there. Walrus will defend well, albeit taking an unorthodox line through the corner. He's parked it on the apexes correctly, though. Charlie Golf, he's going to have a look. Of course he'll have a look here. Through Villeneuve, side by side, into the gravel. Somehow keeps it together. And now side by side, King Pro player gets round Walrus. Oh, it's all happening now. Charlie Golf will actually somehow get around DJE Flat in the process. Oh, I think Charlie's got a fair look there for maybe King Pro sending him off the track. It's a difficult situation. We got wing damage behind as they've gone 3 abreast. Oh, even more. And the McLaren way off the track. Goodness me, that's a hell of a collision. Somehow he's not DNF from this race. Whoa, it's all happening now. King Pro player, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Well, if you want a recap as to what's just happened, I'm afraid I can't tell you. Rewind the 15 seconds and tell me in chat, because honestly I have no idea what's just transpired there. Curveball has gotten around Merc then, appearing to be down the inside. Bongit will be up next. It does have DRS. He's actually may have to work for this one a little bit. Yeah, I'm not too sure he's going to get there. No, Merc's actually pulling him quite well into the braking zone, and wow, I think that's actually quite a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Bongit. Well, they were 3 wide. Here's as Walrus is going to pick up 3 seconds of penalty now. See, this is kind of what I was thinking for what was going to help Reimer, is these drivers around and picking up penalties. But anyway. As far as Charlie Golf is concerned, he, at least the other McLaren and maybe another car, all side by side, 3 abreast it seemed, going down the hill here from Piratella in towards Acqua Minerale. Contact was made, front wings were lost, and that McLaren went into the barrier on the outside through the gravel at probably as quick as you could possibly go. That car tried to find the brakes, I'm sure, but did not find them. Found the wall first. Thankfully, he'll still be able to race here, even after the absolute hell of an impact that he found. R. Manson, once again, I don't believe you have your friend. Oh, wow, look at this! A King Pro player around the outside. What in the hell is even that? DJ E-Flow, look at this. They're all stacked up again here, going down the hill. Up once again. I'll take the minute now to see if potentially I can get R. Manson into the thing. I don't genuinely know if I can. I don't believe I have him friended. No, I don't think I do. That's really unfortunate. And I can't, like, add new friends here in the menu. Well, if he requests me now, I can, but I'm in the menu. I can't do it, unfortunately, now. Well, they're all queued up here. Bongit, actually around the outside of Merc. That's a good one. Through the Villeneuve chicane they go. Thankfully, it's calmed down just a little bit here. Incredibly enough, only 4 drivers on the grid. Oh, as Walrus has gone wide, only 4 drivers on the grid currently stay without time penalty. Because Bongit's picked up his 2nd for track limits then. What I will say is this. Let's say we all get to 3 seconds of penalty. It just becomes a new grid again. Except for those on 6 seconds and 10 seconds as Reimer as well. Worst part is, I don't think Reimer realistically has a look to get that overturned. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but if somebody took the... And I don't even think they have, no. I was going to say, the only other time, as Rapid Reimer, I think, may get around his teammate here. The only way I could think of potentially getting that time back is if somebody took the pit lane speed limiter board with them in, which they haven't, I don't think. As, oh my goodness, we got a 3-car battle here for the lead. King Pro player. It's really down to King Pro player and Reimer, as Reimer's up to 13 seconds in penalty now. It's up to King Pro player and that of Angry Walrus. And I think what may happen here is Reimer's going to try to clear Walrus and kind of play the... Well, I'd say play the team game. They're just going side by side through Villeneuve. I don't know what the hell they're doing now. You know, that because that would happen a lot. I mean, even when I would race and this track was in game, people would take the pit lane speed limiter board on the way into the pits, and then you'd just not be able to see where the line was really, because you're not really looking at the line. You're looking at two things. You're looking at the prompt. Oh, there it is. You're looking at the prompt that the game gives you. And then you're looking at did I accept his thing or did I not? Oh. Well, goodness me, I apologize. We have a safety car out on track. I don't even know where that's happened. Has Charlie Golf gone off? Is something... Damn it, you know, I tried so hard. Anyways, a safety car out on track currently. I don't even know. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Got it. Fantastic. Alright, so we have a safety car. For what reason, I'm afraid I missed. I'm assuming just collection of the wings. Well, DJ Flat has gone off. Has he pit? Yeah, he has. Several cars on the way into the pit lane now. There we go. Thankfully I got R. Manson back in here. Well, it's unfortunate that I've had to miss that for whatever reason. I'm not too sure what's actually happened, but we do have several cars into the pit lane. Reimer, did he... Well, that's interesting. Reimer has actually decided to not stop here. He's not been able to serve that 10-second penalty. Will he try to stick it out to the end here as the rest of the grid goes on mediums behind him? This is a very odd turn of events. I'm going to pause the recording now. We'll pick back up in just a second. Car's going to be in this time by. Only just two more cars yet to join the queue. Unless potentially, do we see it wait one more lap as Reimer into the grass? So we see it wait one more lap and then, you know, maybe some of these other cars here pit. Remember the last time the safety car really came in like last minute. It was about an hour and decided, hey, I want to go into the pit lane. It has not done that this time. So let's see if Reimer decides to pit. No. I find that really, really bold from Reimer. I don't think he would be out of sets of mediums, would he? You know, or like I don't get that at all. Even if you had to go to softs, you know, I don't really know. It's a really difficult question. That every idea I would point to would say pit, get rid of the 10-second penalties, get back on level pegging, even if it's an off compound tire, off strategy. Well, as they make their way from in towards Grazzini this time, we'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming, yep, and there it is. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. We are about halfway through this Grand Prix. Matter of fact, beyond halfway through this Grand Prix. The question now becomes, how does Reimer fare with having that 10 seconds of net penalty right now? Well, he's going for it. Back to green flag racing. It looks as if he's gotten a good jump over the two cars behind him immediately, which are the two Alpines, following in behind. There's DJE Flat on the medium tires, and he finds his way around John the Prince on the outside, looking in towards Tamburello. He's absolutely going to go for it here. Oh, in contact! And, well, thankfully that is not gone in a bad way. Walrus will now get down the inside of John the Prince. He's actually going to lose a couple of spots here. He's lost one, and now missing a bit of the front wing now that I notice on the right side. Lots of penalties here. Whatever you see as the finishing order potentially right now, just don't, because it's not going to stay this way, promise you that. Oh, so we got another yellow flag. John the Prince, I think, has gone off again. Something is not right with that car. I don't know what it is, but he's had a hell of a time here since the safety car has come back in. Getting closer to 10 laps to go as Curveball now picks up a 3-second penalty as well. He's at 6. Side by side now, Angry Walrus and DJE Flat going down the hill, heading in towards Rivazza. Oh, Walrus tried to sneak on the outside, kind of wiggles a little bit into the path of DJE Flat. Contact was definitely made. DRS will be enabled, obviously this time by. They won't get it until next, but still, either way. Down the pit straight now, King Pro player to the inside. Looks to get DJE Flat, not with ease, but with, well, no, kind of with ease. As John the Prince retires, that being in the pit lane, thankfully. Out of the Villeneuve chicane, they go into Tosa. 2.5 tenths of a second between the two Alpines here. Reimer still leads, only, albeit by 7 tenths of a second. The question is, where is that car going to drop to after that penalty's applied? Because between the leader and last place currently of Johnny Damon, only 7 seconds. Obviously, penalties to be applied, but still, it's worth asking the question now, isn't it? Through Grazzini they go, and down the hill. King Pro player, going to have a look at Angry Walrus here shortly. DJE Flat might be in a good way here. He's going to be one of the only drivers on track with no time penalty. Again, we don't know what caused that most recent safety car. As Curveball and Merc side by side. Oh, look at a big contact there. Curveball trying to get on the power. Did he take too much curve on the outside? That car got really unsettled, did Merc. But Curveball has recently gotten around him. There's now Walrus to the outside of Pontiac Bandit side by side, heading in towards the Villeneuve chicane. Oh, look at this. King Pro players trying it down the outside, down the inside. They've made contact there with Walrus. Cars sliding into the gravel. I think that was Walrus who's gone in. King Pro players gone for it on the inside. Walrus, obviously, as we were watching along with, had the outside. And I think they've gone around, they've taken the position, and they've gotten into each other. I think that's exactly what's caused that incident there. DJE Flat getting around Pontiac Bandit side by side through Piratella. The Williams is going to get ahead. Mind you, let's not forget this. DJE Flat, at the moment, if he's able to get around both Merc and R. Manson, could very well win this Grand Prix. He's only got to get around. Well, first of all, King Pro Players is in the way. Let's be real there. But then, 3 seconds up the road from that is R. Manson. Another... 3 seconds up the road from R. Manson is Merc. For DJE Flat, Merc is absolutely the target right now. Because you get around him, you're in position to win the race. In the meantime, Curveball to the inside of Reimer through Tamburello. And minimal contact there made. Oh, Reimer has lost it almost. He's caught the car, actually, in fairness, quite well, but he's taken a lot of the curb there. That car got very unsettled. He's only just been able to keep it together. And down to third. As side-by-side was Walrus and Pontiac Bandit. They've since sorted that one out. Pontiac Bandit's gotten around Walrus. Well, maybe now can Walrus find another route. In position, lurking behind Pontiac Bandit in towards Piratella. Not going to have it. Not now, at least. Still a tenth and a half. And Charlie Golf in this as well. On the outside. Not quite. Now up the hill. Through Aqua Minerale. DJ Flat, mind you, a tenth back to Manson into the chicane. Not quite there either. Manson now 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. Now, only 2 drivers on track without penalties to their names. Merc and DJ Flat. And despite the penalties, we still have some excellent battling going on here. DJ Flat next in line. Manson in his sights. He'll have DRS to be able to get around the Aston Martin here. 10 laps to go of this circuit as DWCJ round the outside of Curveball, now up to the point. DJ Flat gets around Manson. Charlie Golf, at least for the time being, had gotten around Angry Walrus. That has since not gone the same way. Oh, Walrus again! This time, once again now, not consecutive laps here, but definitely within quick goes of each other into the gravel once more. I don't even think there was contact that time. Bonget's actually going to take Walrus as well. Top 3 cars within only a couple of tenths of each other now. Reimer again still on 13 seconds of penalty. Will be losing positions, but how many considering? I mean, it's not really I wouldn't call it a gap between the top 3 and the rest of the grid, but for Reimer at least, I think he could be spared a couple of spots. With these penalties in play, unless Reimer believes that he can get that tenner taken off. Because he stayed out. And let's remind you of the circumstance. So Reimer picked up that 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That was into the first safety car. He has since, after that, picked up a 3-second for multiple warnings. Then we had another safety car not too long ago. I'm sure you remember. Reimer chose not to pit. Had he stopped, he would have been able to get that 10-second penalty taken off. Wow, well, look at this. He's got quite some pace here. He's gotten around both DWCJ and Curveball. They're actually going to end up side-by-side with each other here in towards Tamburello. Still side-by-side. Over the curb, and, well, it looks as if Curveball's gotten around that one. King Pro Player does get around Merc, but a 3-second penalty to his name. And now look at this. The 2 drivers on track who don't have penalties right next to each other. As we have a yellow flag, Pontiac Bandit's gone around going through Tamburello. But look at this. The battle at hand. Now suddenly, DJ Flat and Merc, and by the way, Merc hasn't stopped. DJ Flat, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as well as 8-lap-old medium tires. DJ Flat for Gitz and Shiggles, 4.5 seconds behind the leader of Rapid Reimer with less than 10 laps to go. This battle right here is for the win of the Grand Prix, for the time being. Will it stay that way? The time is now. DJ Flat, will he look to make up that move in towards Tamburello this time? Will he need to? Will he be able to have DRS and be comfortably ahead by the time they do get to the braking zone? Well, I'm not sure Merc is going to have DRS here. No, he still does. He's only just gotten it. DRS activated for DJ Flat. Down the pit straight they go. DJ's going to try it. Round the outside once again for impending win of the Grand Prix. He has gotten that 5th spot, but it's not over yet. As, DWCJ round. Well, there was a mix-up between a couple of cars at the top end of the grid. We didn't look and see what had happened, I'm afraid, as we were more interested in that battle for what could still be the win of the Grand Prix. But several cars have gotten together. Once again, the gap from the leader of Reimer. 13-second penalty. That will put him, if penalties didn't exist, down to 11th, but penalties do exist. So I have a feeling he's going to keep at least some spots here. He's not going to walk out the winner, not by any means. But at least some positions will be salvaged as Angry Walrus into the gravel somewhere along the line. Manson and Johnny Damon swapping positions there. The Salver's gotten around the Aston Martin, it seems. And another yellow flag. Angry Walrus, I think, has gone around again at the top of Aqua Minerale. Yes, he has. Walrus now 3-second penalty corner cutting. We have 7 laps to go. Right now, King Pro Player. Whoa, look at that. Way down on the inside of Curveball. That was quick. And now up to the second spot. DJE Flat was able to hold off Merc that time, and it looks to me as if Merc and those hard tires are not going to be able to keep up with DJE Flat. I think the only thing is that if DJE Flat's mediums wear out enough to the point where they're really even-steven on tire degradation and where the crossover point is, then maybe Merc can have a challenge. We have a yellow flag, I believe, is that DWCJ there has gone round. I believe he has. 0.3 of a second between DJ Flat and Curveball. I think if DJ can actually get around Curveball here, that'll be very important. At least the one car in the way between the two battling for the win here. So even if Curveball has that penalty, he's still a car out on track. Merc still has to deal with that, and I think that's what DJ is hoping for here. Curveball, it doesn't appear will have DRS to King Pro Player. That's huge. So DJ is going to dispatch of the V-card here. I'm assuming, though, Merc will do more of the same as well. I would kind of be more surprised if he didn't. Well, I'm not sure he will. He's quite far back, Merc. No, so now, that's going to buy DJE Flat a lot of time here. Johnny Damon getting around Charlie Golf in towards Tamburello. The battle for what actually is 6th position. Oh, look at this Curveball. Well, that's interesting. Was there contact there between them? Oh, as the Ferrari of Bongit goes round, well, he's only just held that one together. Curveball going for a bit of a spin there, exiting Tamburello. Whether or not Merc had a hand in that, I kind of doubt that he did, considering he was not close enough really to lunge for that position, at least from what my timing charts told me. Yeah, it's a very interesting dilemma, that. But the line this time will be 5 laps to go. Johnny Damon, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Let's remind you again of the gap from the leader of Reimer back to DJE Flat is only 5 seconds. I will say this, though, for the time being, it would have to seem as if Reimer could even end up in 4th at the end of this, maybe 5th. I think 5th is more likely. Reimer could actually be saved here by everybody's penalties here. That, I think, is what's going to end up happening. But what we do have now is a battle for the 8th spot, genuinely on track, between Bonga and Curveball. DRS is going to be activated here for Curveball. As Charlie Golf and Johnny Damon, oh, contact there. Golf has gotten around the Sauber. Yeah, how cleanly it was, that's up for debate. Closest battle on track now, once again, these two. DJE Flat, I will say this, is actually not really gaining time to King Pro Player. He is putting time to Merc, not really a lot, but enough to at least keep his eyes open there, really. Angry Walrus, 1:16.229, fastest lap of the session. Eight-tenths of a second now between Curveball and Bongit. Bit of a lockup for one of the cars there. Bongit, assuming that was his lockup. 3 seconds for multiple warnings, now up to 12. Once again, the only 2 cars on track without penalties are that of DJE Flat 3rd and in position to win. And then Merc in 4th. And Merc is actually very much starting to fall behind DJE Flat now. It was about 2 seconds when they'd begun that previous lap. It's about 3 now. Johnny Damon, 8/10 of a second back to Charlie Golf. Of course, 9 seconds penalty back to 6 seconds. And I want to point this out as well. I have a feeling steward reports are going to be existent after this one. Sometimes you can kind of just tell by the naked eye when there's going to be steward reports, and I have to believe that this is going to be one of those nights. Either way, it's been a fantastic race this. Drama, controversy, everything has happened here tonight. 2 safety cars. As DWCJ, Curveball actually coming out of the pit lane, that's going to put DWCJ up to 9th. Pontiac Bandit Walrus into the pit lane onto new soft tires, looking for the fastest lap potentially. Oh, and Johnny Damon has gone off, and we have a safety car here with almost no time left in the session, exiting Aqua Minerale, getting on the throttle. That Sauber is done. And we have a safety car with, what, 3 laps to go? Reimer into the pit lane will get 10 seconds of penalty taken off his time. He will be losing some spots here, genuinely on the track position. Look at this! King Pro Player, double stacked! Look how much this is screwing King Pro Player! My God! The 10-second penalty served by Reimer. King Pro Player went in for the double stack and has now been absolutely... I mean, there's no PG way of putting that. That is absolutely done in King Pro Player. Wow. I mean, that is one of... That's just... I don't even think Reimer really did that on purpose. Did King Pro Player not realize that was happening? King Pro Player wanted to do it strategical-wise? I don't know. Obviously, Reimer is not sabotaging his teammate on purpose. That just would not happen, right? I know Reimer enough to believe that won't happen, but God almighty, has that absolutely sabotaged his teammate there. Although I will say, in fairness, they're really still in and amongst a pack of people on penalty, so, I will say it's more or less just kind of giving us a weird scenario now because we've got 2 drivers without penalties. At the line this time, by the way, will be 2 laps to go. Johnny Damon is potentially turned into the Nicholas Latifi of the CCRL here with that incident. Well, maybe that's a bit harsh. I'll be fair with you. There's got to be a better way to describe him than that, because obviously things happen, but God almighty, is that at a very inconvenient stage of the Grand Prix. So, we'll get back to racing here with 2 laps to go. Let's remind you of the stakes. DJE flat, 14-lap-old mediums, Merc, 22-lap-old hards. Neither of these fellas' tires are in good condition. Would I still give the edge to DJE flat? I think I would. Here we go. Green flag. Back in the air. 2 laps to go. Mano y mano for the win of what has been a long night of racing. They've put down several laps tonight. Let's say that again. 11. Oh, look at this. Charlie Golf has sent it on Merc. Oh, and he's not seen that one coming, has he? And King Pro Player going to get round Reimer, but, well, let's remind you of what has happened. 2 qualifying sessions, 12 minutes and 16 minutes of length, respectively. 11-lap sprint race, 32 eventual laps of this Grand Prix. They've done a lot of driving here tonight. And it's all come down to this, as Walrus has retired, that being in the pit lane. Manson, I think, having a bit of a skirmish there, exiting Toza, heading into not Aqua Minerale, it's Piratella now. The 2 Mercedes battling it out as well. DJE Flat is about a lap and a half away from winning this race, but he's got to do 2 things. He's got to keep it clean, and he's got to keep calm. A penalty here would ensure that Merc walks away with the win. As R. Manson, a 3-second penalty. We'll go along with DJE Flat. He's got, after Rivazza, 1 more lap of this circuit. He's just got to keep it clean. No DRS will be in play. He's using that energy store. This would be the time for Merc to overtake him. Merc does not have energy store remaining. DJE Flat, for the time being, has survived what I would say the scary part of any sort of overtaking attempt. He's got a lot of corners left. This is all down to his driving ability and his ability to keep it within the navigational beacons on the outside. Here comes King Pro Player. Wow, sending it on Merc there. DJE Flat, 3-second penalty. Are you kidding me? Wow, and I mean, look at this now, because it's still 2.7 seconds. Merc is still only losing time. If it's gonna be a win for DJE Flat, it's going to be legitimately now tenths of seconds to separate him from Merc. He had to do 1 job. He's failed at it, kind of. Manson has done that as well. He's crashed, exiting Piratella. Half a second to the good. DJE Flat exiting Grazini, and now down the hill, 7/10, just Rivazza to go. DJ E-flat, if he walks away with this one, several hairs on his head would have turned gray tonight, but turning heads as well, as DJ E-flat somehow, someway, walks away with the win of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Everything else is up for debate on who finishes where. My God almighty, what a race this has been. Thank you for joining us. Oh my God. By the way, next time out, we head to Suzuka. Goodness me. DJ E-flat, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.